Picture your desk tomorrow morning, you sit down, log in, and there's a new software update, only this update doesn't help you do your job. It is your job.
Or imagine waking up, logging in, and realizing you never have to do the soul-crushing, robotic parts of your week ever again. Welcome to The Thought Experiment. I'm Jordan Blake.
And I'm Claire Donovan. Today we're asking the question you're probably afraid to Google right now. Is AI coming for your job sooner than you think?
People panic every time technology shifts, Claire. They panicked at the weaving loom, the tractor, the personal computer. AI is just the next tool. It's a hyper-fast intern.
An intern that doesn't sleep, doesn't ask for a salary, and processes the entirety of human knowledge in 3 seconds. We aren't building a better tractor this time, Jordan. We are building an artificial farmer.
But look at who is actually at risk. If you're a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter, your job is completely bulletproof. I can't fix a burst water pipe.
Right. The physical trades are safe. But white-collar work? Admin, customer service, coding, graphic design? The bedrock of the middle class is built on a screen and lives inside that screen.
Yes, but it makes those white-collar workers superhuman. A coder using an AI assistant can write 10 times the code. A designer can prototype 10 times faster. It's an exoskeleton for the mind.
Let's play out your superhuman theory. Imagine a design agency with 10 employees. If one designer suddenly becomes 10 times more productive, the agency doesn't take on 10 times more clients. They just fire 9 designers.
That's fundamentally misunderstanding economics. When the cost of a service drops, demand explodes. If design is 10 times cheaper, every small business on Earth will hire that agency.
That only works if a human is still the bottleneck. If the AI can eventually design the whole campaign, without the one remaining human, demand doesn't matter to workers. They're still out of the loop.
But we are years, maybe decades away from full autonomy like that. Right now, it's AI as a tool, not AI as a replacement. It hallucinates, it makes mistakes. It needs us to steer it.
For now. But AI isn't improving linearly. It's exponential. A co-pilot today becomes an autopilot tomorrow. Which brings us to a huge problem, the junior gap.
The junior gap? You mean the idea that entry-level jobs disappear? Because honestly, a lot of entry-level tasks are just busy work that nobody wants to do anyway.
Let's inject a scenario here. You run a tech startup. Your senior developers use AI to do the work of 10 junior coders. So you don't hire any 22-year-old graduates. Fast forward 10 years. Where do your next senior developers come from? If nobody is allowed to be a beginner, nobody survives to become an expert. You've broken the ladder.
That assumes the definition of a senior stays the same. The senior developer of tomorrow won't be someone who writes code, it'll be a systems architect. The AI does the typing. The human does the thinking.
But you still have to learn how to think. You learn what makes good architecture by failing at writing bad code. If we outsource the learning process to a machine, we hollow out human competence. We are handing over the keys to the middle class to a massive server farm that doesn't even know what a mortgage feels like.
All right, let's talk about the economic reality of that. If AI wipes out jobs, people can't buy the products the AI makes. The system collapses unless we adapt. That's why universal basic income is suddenly a mainstream conversation.
Universal basic income is a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. You're talking about a society where a handful of trillion-dollar tech companies own the intelligence, and the rest of us live on an allowance.
But the cost of living would plummet. If AI doctors diagnose you for free and AI logistics make food dirt cheap, you don't need a massive salary to live a great life. It's the economics of abundance.
Abundance for who, Jordan? The people who own the algorithms. History shows us that when efficiency goes up, the wealth concentrates at the very top. It doesn't trickle down.
That's cynical. Look at what AI allows now. We are heading toward the one-man unicorn, a single visionary who can build a billion-dollar company entirely from their laptop.
Yes, $1 billion company. And 0 employees getting a paycheck. That isn't a utopia. That is an economic wasteland.
You're assuming people just sit still and starve. Humans adapt. When the camera was invented, portrait painters didn't all starve. Some became photographers. We will invent new ways to create value.
But it's not just about jobs anymore, is it? Let's take it a step further. What happens when our institutions replace humans with AI? When an algorithm decides if you get a bank loan, or parole, or emergency medical care?
Honestly, the AI might be fairer. Human judges give harsher sentences before lunch because they're hungry. Human loan officers have unconscious biases. A properly trained AI is blind to prejudice.
It's not blind, it just hides the prejudice inside a black box. If an AI denies your mortgage, there is no manager to appeal to. There's just a screen saying, "Computer says no, we are automating apathy."
You are terrifying yourself with worst-case scenarios. Think of the medical breakthroughs. AI is folding proteins and discovering drugs in days that would take humans centuries.
Curing cancer while the entire middle class starves and loses their sense of purpose isn't utopia, Jordan. Work gives people identity. It gives them a reason to leave the house.
You're terrified of losing a job you probably complain about every weekend. I'm looking at a tool that finally buys back human time. Time for family, for art, for actual living.
I'm not defending a cubicle. I'm defending human dignity. When we outsource our thinking, our creating, and our deciding to a machine, what exactly is left for us to do?
We get to be human. Without the busy work, we get to guide the machines. It's an evolution, not an extinction.
Or we become pets to our own creations, comfortable, fed, and completely irrelevant.
Well, the AI revolution isn't asking for our permission. It's happening. The only question is how we choose to wield it. Thanks for joining us on The Thought Experiment.
We want to hear from you. Look at your own life, your own job. If AI could take over 90% of it tomorrow, what would you choose? What would you let it delete first?
Drop your answer in the comments. We read all of them. Are you on the side of abundance, or are you preparing for the economic wasteland?
If this conversation unsettled you or made you think differently about tomorrow morning, hit subscribe.
We'll see you next time right here in the studio. Keep questioning everything.